Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church. Hope you're having a really great day. I'd like to share with you this morning a passage from James chapter 1. And I've been talking this week about speaking quietly. And this passage today really emphasizes why we need to do that. So let's look at verses 19 and 20. And here's what we read. Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. You must all be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. You and I have a choice how to respond to something. We may not have a choice about the something. We may not want the something, but it's there anyway. You and I are not in control of this universe, nor are we in control of what happens to us, or what other people think, or what other people do. That's a sobering thought, because you and I walk around in a world where there are millions of opportunities for something to go wrong. The other day, I had some people working at my house, and they wanted to borrow my circular saw, my chop saw, to cut something, and it was a little oddly shaped. I said, sure. And then as they went into the shop, I thought, boy, I hope they're really careful, because it'd be so easy to cut their hand. Well, they weren't very careful, and it didn't happen, but it could have. You and I never know what the next moment is going to bring. We assume we know. I assume that after I finish making this, I'm going to go to lunch. That's important to me. And I assume that come the first of next week, I'll be able to get this tooth fixed that broke. But I don't know that. I hope so. But whatever happens, God knows. And so he says here, understand, you must be quick to listen and slow to speak. And I'll add in here, really slow to get angry. Now, I just ask a simple question. Does that describe you? Do you know whether it does or not? I don't know. I had a fellow one time to say, are you talking about me being angry? And I said, well, I don't know. Are you an angry person? And he said, no. I said, well, then I guess I'm not. God knows who we are. He knows how we respond. And it really doesn't take very long for you to reflect back over how you typically respond. I know you've heard it too. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we ought to listen twice as much as we speak. I heard another one this week that God gave us ears that are open, but a mouth that can shut. So maybe we ought to pay attention to that. But the point of all of those little phrases, and the point of this, is that speaking in anger, speaking harshly, speaking quickly, never, ever, ever, ever produces righteousness that God wants. He wants something better from you than this basic human instinct of exploding. Just look at any 2-year-old. They haven't learned that yet. Something didn't go their way, and boom, it's like somebody hit a switch. Off they go. Well, what about us adults? I hope you're not one who still does that. I mean, how many years is it going to take to get the idea here? God wants you and me to demonstrate righteousness with our lives. That's what he made us for. And we can't do that without speaking quietly. Now, perhaps you do a really good job, and sometimes you don't. Okay, you're human. I'm not perfect. I certainly don't get it right every time. There are some times when I don't scream and holler like some folks do, but I speak louder than I should and with more force than I should because something hit that I didn't control it very well over. And I regret that because once those words of non-righteousness come out, you can't take them back. You can apologize for them if you're sincere, but you can't take them back. So much easier to work on it before it comes out than to try to save the day after it comes out. I don't know, but you listen to these crazy politicians, and some of them just blurt out anything and then say, if you got offended, I'm sorry. That doesn't cut it. Don't blurt it out in the first place. Don't do it with your family. Don't do it with your kids. Don't do it with your spouse. Don't do it with your fellow workers. Don't do it with your neighbors. Don't do it with the person sitting in front of you when the red light turns green. Speak quietly. Listen and demonstrate the righteousness of God. That's what he wants. And the more you do that, the more you'll find out, hey, that's really good stuff. What do you think about it? Have a great almost weekend. And I'll be back later and share one more thought on this idea. If you have a need or a concern, let us know. Give us a holler. We'll do whatever we can as fast as we can to help meet your need. Thanks so much for listening. I'll be back again.